office or where people can see it, so when they come in, they know you're a Rotarian and they know the quality of work that you do and the honesty you bring to the operation. Okay, all that being said, and thank you, Mr. Sunshine, I'd like to call on Charlotte Gonzalez. She was here last week. She's not a member of the club, but she's been here 2 weeks in a row. We'll have to consider her. Anyway, Charlotte.
Thanks for having me 2 weeks in a row. And I've been here a few times since the air show, and for some reason, I keep forgetting to present your club with the lithograph of the Blue Angels that they signed for you guys. So here it is. All right. Thank you. All right, it is my pleasure to be here today to introduce our district governor. And as everyone knows, our district governor is Johnny Moore. He grew up in Spartanburg, South Carolina, so he is a true South Carolinian. We don't have a whole lot of those in the state. Everyone seems to come from everywhere. He graduated from Clemson, has a lovely wife, Susan, who's traveling around with him. And I love that he still considers them newlyweds after 43 years of marriage. I think that's fantastic. He has 3 married daughters, 3 great son-in-laws, 10 grandchildren under the age of 11. Fantastic. And I'm not going to tell you his whole history of Rotary. It's quite extensive, and I'm sure he'll tell you a little bit more about it. But Johnny, would you like to come up and talk to us?
Thank you so much. It's been great being here already today. It's such a warm welcome, and you know, it's great to see all of you out here. Obviously, you didn't get the message. The message is there are 2 Rotary Club meetings you want to miss every year, and the district governor's visit's one of them. So apparently you didn't get that. Thank you very much, Jeff and Charlotte. Thank you. I want to share with you some things. But before I start into that, let me ask you a question. How many of you have a vision for your life, where you thought your life was going to go, maybe from a young age, that you had something in mind that you thought your life was going to turn out like? I have to tell you that for me, I thought that I would never grow old. And I mean, I don't mean that I wouldn't age. I mean, we just wouldn't grow old. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have the maladies of age, the things, the problems that come with it, you know? Well, I started to notice that although I felt like I was doing pretty well, that my sweet wife Susan was starting to have a problem hearing. Because I noticed that if I wasn't looking right at her when I asked her a question, she wouldn't answer. So one day I walked in the kitchen, and as I was walking in the kitchen, I came in the door, and there she stood at the counter with her back to me. I knew she did not know I was there. So I stopped in the doorway and I said, "Sweetheart," nothing. A couple of steps closer, "Sweetheart," nothing. Stepped right up behind her, "Sweetheart." She turned around and looked at me very lovingly and said, "For the 3rd time, what is it?" So I went out and got my hearing aid, and I noticed something magic happened after that. Anytime I asked her a question, whether I was looking at her or not, she answered. It was amazing how that hearing aid made her do that. But we all have visions, I think, for where we're going to go and what we want to do in life. And Rotary also has a vision statement that most of us don't think about, or maybe didn't even know that there was a specific vision statement in Rotary. And last year, 2018, Rotary introduced a brand new vision statement for the organization. I've asked the assistant governors and the club presidents to memorize that vision statement so they could use it in their meetings and so they could repeat it when I came to visit. So, Jeff? Charlotte? Okay. put them on the spot. But, I told them, I gave them fair warning. Rotary's vision statement says, together we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. Is that not a great vision statement? Isn't that great? Think about what it says about what Rotary is and about who Rotarians are. It really defines the organization and the people that make it up, doesn't it? I think it's the best vision statement I've ever heard for an organization. Now, how many of you are from hand-raising churches? I realize we're a Catholic church, that's probably not a hand-raising church. But how many, you want to talk about hand-raising churches? Well, I'm from the Presbyterian church, they call us the frozen chosen, so we're probably not included in that group either. But we're going to do a little hand-raising stuff here. First of all, how many of you can think back on your life and identify someone outside of your family who had a positive impact on you? How many of you can? Wow, almost everybody, right? Now, how many of those folks, another show of hands, how many of those folks knew of the impact they had on your life? Yeah, not as many. Maybe about half, a little bit less, probably less than that. Do you suspect that those people who had that impact on your life that never knew, do you suspect maybe they probably expected that they would never know? Didn't stop them from doing it though, did it? They did it not because they were looking for a pat on the back or accolades. They did it because it was the right thing to do. And in Rotary, that's what we do, isn't it? We do things not because we're looking for a pat on the back or accolades. We certainly need to, we need to let people know that we're doing things, but we don't do it just to get the pat on the back. We do it because it is the right thing to do. I had a teacher, 10th grade geometry at Spartanburg High School. Can I get out from behind this thing? Okay, thank you. I don't do well when I'm behind the podium. I had a teacher at Spartanburg High School named Miss Lawson. And Miss Lawson, I'm sorry you have my back to you, Jeff, but Miss Lawson not only made a positive impact on my life, Linda, but she absolutely changed the course of my life. I would not be standing here today had it not been for Miss Lawson. Had it not been for Miss Lawson, I would have never made grades good enough in high school to get into Clemson, because I'd kind of given up. But she changed the course of my life. And we all have people in our lives that have done something like that for us, haven't we? That's what we're doing in Rotary. We're offering that every day. Another question for you. Why did you join Rotary? Why did you join Rotary? Typically we hear, well, I wanted an opportunity to serve in the community, or I was looking for a networking opportunity, or I was looking for fellowship because I didn't really know people. I just moved in. I was looking for a way to make more friends. Those are all good reasons, aren't they? They're really, and those are the top three that we get when we ask that question. Next question I have for you though is this: how many of you stayed in Rotary for the same reason you joined? How many? Show of hands. How many of you stayed in Rotary for the same reason you joined? About half, maybe a little more. It's about typically what we see. It's different for everybody. I became a Rotarian in 2008. That's not when I joined. I joined a year earlier. But in September 2008, this Rotarian named Jim Derrick at the St. Andrews Columbia Club invited me to go with him to something called a foundation seminar, so we could sign something called a memorandum of understanding, so we could get something called a district grant. Ethan, I didn't have a clue what any of that meant. I didn't know what any of it was. I'd been in Rotary for a year at that point, and I still didn't know, because nobody had taken the time to really help me understand what Rotary was about. We have to help our members, our new members, understand what Rotary's about and what we do. So I went with Jim to the Seacoast Church, Mount Pleasant. I walked in there that day a proud member of Rotary. I walked out that day a Rotarian. And there's a difference. I walked out knowing what Rotary was doing, eradicating polio, providing clean water to people who'd never had it before, teaching children to read, providing shoes for children who didn't have proper footwear. Things that were really making a difference in the world. And I thought, wow, I'm part of that organization. That's what we do. I went back to the club and I started thinking about the four-way test, and my goodness, need to make sure I can do what it says. I need to make sure it becomes part of me and the motto. And by the way, how many of you knew that Rotary has two mottos? I'm the only one. Okay. Rotary has two mottos. The primary motto is service above self, but that only became the primary motto in 1989. Prior to that, the motto was, he profits most who serves best. In 1989, that was also changed to one profits most who serves best. Thank you, ladies. But anyway, when I started looking at all that, I thought, man, I got to get in here and start doing some of the work. So I started doing the work and service and fundraising and having fun. I was having fun. But the other thing I found out was that when I did things that I knew were going to impact the world, it not only changed what was going on in the community, and I was not only making that change, but it changed me. I started experiencing the joy and the fulfillment that came with serving others through Rotary. Rotarians, that's what we need to share. We need to be sharing the joy and the fulfillment we get from being in Rotary, right on? I mean, if we share that first, then we can tell them about the service projects, we can tell them about the meetings and the great speakers and the fundraisers and all those things, but we need to be sharing first the joy and fulfillment we get from being Rotarians, and that they can experience that same thing. And I believe that will bring people to Rotary. I really believe it will. And it's important because membership is Rotary's #1 internal priority. We never know who that next Miss Lawson might be that wants to make a change in children's lives. I have no idea how many other people she impacted. We may never know who the next Roger Ackerman is. How many of you know that name? A few, yeah. Roger Ackerman is the guy from the little old Rotary Club of Sumter, South Carolina, who started the Cart Fund. One idea in one club that now spread to 27 districts around the country. In this past May at the Rotary, the Cart Fund annual meeting, 5 researchers doing cutting-edge research to either find a cure for Alzheimer's disease or to maybe at least find something to slow it down enough that we die of something else first. We're awarded grants, research grants, totaling $1 million. Amazing. From one little idea, from one person. Who might have that next idea? How about Arch Clump? How many of you know that name? Yeah. Arch started the Rotary Foundation. $26.50 from the Rotary Club of Atlanta was the first contribution. This year, our district, this past year, rather, our district contributed almost $1.4 million in the foundation. Amazing. One little idea. Who might be the next person with that one little idea that changes the world? You never know. So we have to be reaching out there. When we get more people into Rotary, look, I realize we emphasize numbers a lot. How else can we measure it? I mean, it's the only measure we have. But what we're really looking for is not just the number. We're looking for the impact that number can have. We get more people in while we get more ideas. We get more hands to do the work. We get more energy, we get more enthusiasm, more inspiration, more innovation. We get all these things that can help us be of greater good to the world. And it makes a huge difference in what we can do moving forward. You see what I'm saying? So membership and bringing people in and giving them that opportunity to experience what we do is foundational to where we are. One more thing about membership. Our clubs must come to look like the communities we serve. We must. If we're going to be relevant in our communities, we must look like the communities we serve. We need more women in Rotary. We do. Because guys, I'm going to tell you right now, if you want to get something done, ask a woman to do it. Right, Mimi? If you want to get something done, and ask a woman to do it. I have a little file box that travels with me now that has hanging folders in it for all the clubs I'm visiting that week, in the order of which I'm visiting. You think I did that? No. Susan puts that together for me.
Oh, we should take those.
Oh, I'm sure she is. I know what later she's going to say, you didn't say this, you didn't say that, you said this too much. But that's okay, I get it, and I appreciate it. She helps me with that. I mean, goodness gracious, if it weren't for her, I'd be in trouble. But we need more women. We need more African Americans in Rotary. We need more because I suspect we probably have a fairly significant African American population in the community. We need more African Americans. How about Hispanic Americans? How about Asian Americans? How about young people? Bet you got a few more young people in the community than is a percentage of the club, right? You'd be looking at that. I mean, yeah, I see a few young folks here, and it's great, but we need to have more young people all across the board. We've got to fix that in our clubs. We really do. Now, when I was saying, giving you the idea of all these things that we would get by increased membership, there's something I left out. I didn't say we'd have more money, did I? And the reason I didn't is because if we get membership right, if we really get membership right, and the members we bring in catch the vision of where we are and what we're doing and what's going on in Rotary, that'll take care of itself. If we get membership right, everything else will take care of itself. The socials, the service projects, everything. The fundraisers, it'll all take care of itself. But we do have to support the foundation. And the foundation is, because it's central to what we get done in the world. That's our charity, and you all know that. That's where we give money to do the work. And again, we have to measure it somehow, so we measure it in dollars. But quite honestly, to me, it's not about the dollars. It's about the work those dollars do. It's not about the money. It's about what that money allows us to accomplish. Does that make sense? Because somebody comes to you and says, Ethan, I'd love for you to become a Paul Harris Society. I would, by the way. I'd love for you to become a Paul Harris Society. That means you give $1,000 yearly to the foundation. You can do it by a credit card, $85 a month, and you hardly miss it. That sounds good, but my question then is, okay, what you going to do with that money? What's going to happen? Well, we're going to teach some children to read. We're going to provide clean water to some people who never had it. We're going to keep some people from being hungry this year. We're going to provide food for some children so they'll have something to eat over the weekend. Okay, here you take it, have it. It's a good thing. And I'm willing to give, and we would all be willing to give. I think if we think, rather than the fact that we're just giving money, if we think about what we're going to be able to do when we give that money. Does that make sense? We've got some challenges ahead of us this year. We've been challenged to pack 1 million meals in this district.